Cool. Hans Themistode, FightHype.com here with one of my favorite people to talk to, Brad man. How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Good.
All right. Now, usually your predictions are really spot on, man. That prediction for the Eagles game, though, that was pretty bad.
I didn't make a prediction though, man.
But you're from Philly, man, so technically you was going with the Eagles, man. Come on. Let's not
Who
do that.
I, who I want to win and a prediction is not the same thing, man.
Come on, brother. You know you was going for the Eagles, man. It's okay to be
I was,
wrong.
I was, but I never made a prediction.
All right, so make a prediction. Make a prediction for the Super Bowl then. Who you got?
I say the Chiefs 23-20.
Okay. We got you on the record, man. Let's see if you
Now
get
that's a prediction.
it. All right, man. No problem, man. All right, cool. First off, before we jump into all these crazy topics, just kind of tell everybody why you're down there in Vegas, the guy that you're training, things like that, man.
Um uh I'm just out here with Caleb just for a week, just to stay sharp
Hmm.
or whatever, and then head back home. But we kind of just like every couple of months if a fight date don't come up, we'll just, get a little bit of work in.
Okay, so that's it. Just getting some work in, no news or like rumblings or anything like that.
Um, no, he don't have a date.
Okay. Is there anybody that's like his preferred choice right now? I know he was always saying Jamal, but anybody else?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know. We
Fair.
really honestly haven't even talked about it.
Cool. Fair enough, man. Well, since we're talking about 168, what are your thoughts on some of the rumors saying that Canelo's gonna finish out his two-fight PBC deal with fighting Jamal first and then fighting Terrence Crawford? What do you think, man?
I mean, everybody's gonna tune in regardless of what they think of the fights. I think um, you know, this is a business. So the pay-per-view module for years have been a Mexican fighter versus a black fighter, right? So Canelo just fought 120. He fights the other, backstory, revenge, So I think that's about right. I'm not offended by the fight. Jamal's undefeated, and got his opportunity, So and Terrence Crawford and Canelo, I think that's a super fight actually. And if Terrence Crawford could pull that off, he would go like in the GOAT conversation. Like nobody's ever jumped three weight divisions against a guy like Canelo and won the title. So that would be huge, huge. That's a super fight. Um, that's all I can say. That's a super fight. And like I said, if Crawford was ever to win that fight, it would be he would be in the GOAT conversation.
Who would you give a better chance to? I think everybody would say that Crawford's probably number one pound for pound. So he probably has, not even probably, he does have more skills than Jamal, but Jamal's the bigger, stronger guy with a lot of skills himself. So which one of those two guys would you give the better chance to actually knocking off Canelo?
Crawford,
Mm, no matter the size difference.
yeah, Crawford is a special fighter, man. Crawford, plus Crawford is nothing against Jamal, but Crawford is like, man, he's one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my entire life.
Would you actually favor him over Canelo, or would you have to favor
Um, you know what, man? As far as Vegas odds, it's probably going to be close to even. That should show you how good Crawford is.
Canelo? Yeah.
Um, I think, in fairness to Canelo, because he's a special fighter, um, I think it's a 50-50 fight, but we twisted my arm and say, you got to like bet your life, fate of the world. I'll take Crawford by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Oh, if you put it on me like that, like the fate of the world, you got to get this right. I will take Crawford. Yeah.
Why exactly? I mean, I mean, I guess you'll obviously point to like his skills and things like that, but is there anything else that just makes you say, because Canelo is like what, maybe top 5 to 7 pound for pound, and he's a Hall of Famer
He
himself?
might be higher than that. Canelo, a bad boy, man. He looked great against Jamel.
Hmm.
He a bad boy. I'm not nobody that's a cynic towards Canelo and want to nitpick him and all that. That dude about 5'7", 5'8" on his best day. He moved up to 175 and won the title. So I don't got nothing bad to say about Canelo. Canelo is a great fighter, but there's something about Terence Crawford. You know, obviously physically, they're about even in height. So if Canelo was like a 6'1" super middleweight, and that's the division he was in, his, started out there and coming, and fighting Crawford a different way the way he keep Crawford. If Canelo was David Benavidez, I wouldn't pick Crawford. But Crawford arms is way longer than Canelo's. He has a huge reach advantage. People may not realize it, but he does. They're about even in height. Crawford has unbelievable stamina and endurance. If you watch him fight, you never even see him tired.
Hmm.
Um, he got the ability for his feet to take him around the ring. Where Canelo, the kind of pressure that he put on you, it's like mentally breaking. It's like, you know, it's like I'm gonna get to you, and if you stop and fight me, I'm so skilled with my counterpunching ability, I'm gonna make you have to keep running, or you're gonna submit up against the ropes. But it's like a mental thing. Canelo is not breaking Crawford mentally. The kind of pressure he would have to put on to impose himself on it is not the kind of pressure that he puts on. If Crawford, if Canelo fought like a Joe Frazier, if it was that kind of pressure, I'll be like, it's too much. He's too big. But the kind of pressure he put on is kind of methodical. And he's not going to break Crawford mentally. Crawford, that dude, like when somebody is as consistent as he is, and he never ever have one controversial outcome in their career, you could kind of feel comfortable with them to know that they're gonna show up when they need to show up because he don't really have off nights. His off nights still result in the knockout. Um, I just think that he got this special enough mind for one night. He may take some tricks, may take some smoke and mirrors, it makes take some taking the air out of the fight. Canelo's a big dude. He could punch. He can knock Crawford out if he hit him right. So it may take that. I'm not saying it's going to be a dominant decision, but I could see Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler kind of
Hmm.
decision for Crawford. Um, that's just how I feel about the fight. I think he'll probably be a step ahead of Canelo, and I don't know if he'll be able to hurt Canelo, but he can hit him hard enough to stop him from running up on him, and that's all you need to do. And like I said, if you made me pick, I will pick Crawford.
If I know you said that you're not a cynic of Canelo, but is would you be or should you be? Because if those reports are true, that means he's not fighting David Benavidez, which that is the fight at 168. Like, what are your thoughts if it doesn't happen?
Well, Benavidez has certainly earned it, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and, who's asking for what. That's not something that I ever indulge myself with. Fans and media and stuff, they get in, well, what's this guy making? And then you got guys that's not qualified to talk about it start talking, well, the split is going to be this. So I don't indulge in that. You know what I mean? I have no idea what's happening with the negotiations for Benavidez and Canelo. What I do know is from the outside looking in that Benavidez has earned it. He's number one contender. He's fought tough fights to build up his status to kind of earn the Canelo fight. Uh, and we have mandatories in place for a reason. If if the bylaws state you're the mandatory, that means you should get a mandatory title shot. So somebody should um, be addressing that aspect of it, like how come the mandatories aren't enforced, or what's happening behind the scenes? Is somebody doing step asides? I don't know. I really don't. I'm not accusing him by anything, but I know he's the mandatory. He's been the interim champion. He hasn't got his shot. So we got these things in place for a reason, and then you got people on the other side of that when a guy gets awarded a belt Well, they start people calling people email champions. Well, it's your job. It's your team's job to enforce the governing bodies. Why did you why are you paying sanction fees? Why are you getting ranked? Why are you going through the ranks if you can't exercise your option to get a title shot? So I don't call guys email champions because every guy that was an email champion, he was a mandatory and didn't get a title shot. So they gave him now. Do I think they should give it to you? No, I think they should make the top two contenders fight for it. I think that would be the 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 correct thing to do. But that and still, the guy still wanted the title shot and couldn't get one, so they had to fight for it. So I just think it's a little bit ridiculous that they, you know, you hear that like this guy or that guy's an email champion. Well, the number one question is why didn't they get a title shot? So with David Benavidez, Canelo, if he don't fight him this year, I mean, what can you say really? I don't know.
But wouldn't a part of you just like taking off the boxing hat? I mean, well, taking off the trainer cap, like wouldn't a part of you be like, I don't want to say ducking, but wouldn't you be like, I don't know, man. It don't seem like Canelo really wants this fight. Or would you just be like, whatever it is, what it is, we
You know
didn't get
what? Let's let's be fair. Let's see if they make the fight because we just talking about rumors. Let's see. Canelo seemed like a prideful guy. Like, you know what? I'll fight you. You know, like he might play a little games with him and make him wait a little bit, but he seems prideful. And I don't think he's upside down against Benavidez. I think that's a real 50-50 fight. I think that's like one of those fights of who's having their best day on that particular day. I don't, see a dominant victory for either guy. I think it's going to be a death match. To be honest, I think Canelo might like if this the kind of fight I got to take. This might be my last fight because I might not be the same no more. But I
it.
think Canelo's a gun. I think he's a gun. I don't, let's see what he's doing. Because sometimes the guy with the power that can make the fight, they play little games just to make the other guy a little bit anxious. Like, all right, I'm gonna give it to you, but I'm not gonna give it to you exactly when you want it. I'm gonna make you a little bit anxious. So let's see how it works out. I don't want to call Canelo a duck because he's kind of guy that'll be like, you know what, I'll fight you. I'm tired of everybody talking this shit because we've seen him do it. Even though he waited on Triple G a little bit, eventually he's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and fight you, dog. You're not gonna, you know. And one fight that he didn't have to take, and I always go back to this, is that Lara fight.
Nope, I knew you were gonna bring
That
that.
Lara fight, I was like, damn, man, he really took that tricky style. He did not have to fight him. If
Yep.
you remember the year before that, he had lost to Mayweather,
Hmm.
and
I think
and
he
he
came
comes
back.
back.
I think he beat Kirkland in his comeback fight, and then Fort
It
Lauderdale.
was it was Kirkland or Angulo, one of them around
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Maybe Angulo.
yeah.
Maybe it was Angulo, but then I saw because I was in Vegas and he fought Law. I was like, whoa, he really fighting him? Like I didn't even care that he won. I was like, this dude, he got a bigger sack on him than people realize because like Laura don't have no fan base, nobody cared. It was just like one of them hard ass fights against a tricky dude in his prime, and Laura had just smoked Austin Trout. If you remember, he had just like dominated Trout, and Canelo had trouble with Trout. So when he took the Lara fight, I was like, "Whoa, Canelo is he gutsy. He gutsy. He don't mind like a funny style to put himself up against. I knew he had like a gutsy way about him when he took that fight. So he might tell Benavidez, all right, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you trying to bully me. We gonna figure this out."
Okay. I like.